that's me.
What's going on, man?
Not much chilling, you know.
Dude,
I bought a new subwoofer.
oh, you were telling me about the subwoofer before we started.
Yeah, that was pretty mad.
Yeah. You were saying where your feet don't touch the floor in the wheelchair, the subwoofer was shaking the floor and shaking the wheelchair.
Yeah, I could feel it on my legs. I was like, damn, that's some intense power.
Some intense power, man. Some people could do with that.
Yeah, we like power here.
Yes, sir. Was it drum and bass?
Drum and bass, I tried some rap, I tried some here and there.
Yeah.
No, Chris Brown, some Drake, and just went the list. To Kendrick Lamar, to old school rap.
Oh, a bit of old school
The
rap.
90s.
Ooh, a bit like Nas, Wu-Tang.
Now I'm more into Mobb Deep.
Ooh, Mobb
The
Deep.
grimy
Okay.
underground.
Yeah.
Havoc, the producer.
Lords of the Underground.
Yeah. All of that.
Ooh, I go through phases of that. I love. My brother got me onto that when I was very, very young.
Yeah.
You know, when you can't understand the lyrics of like Killing and all that,
Yeah.
all that just the gnarly lyrics of just.
They
I
just
love
sound
this.
better than normal rap today. You at least understand.
Yeah.
Like the grimy underground gangster, sitting on the corners.
Yeah, I feel like with old school rap, like 90s rap, the beats are just so much better, more unique. Like every song was different.
It's more of because they are made from other songs.
Yeah.
But they took the, I don't know, whatever you say, the samples.
Sample it, yeah.
And then they put them in and slowed it down with the pitch.
Yeah, they take like old 60s and 50s songs, like soul and R&B music. Oh,
it slaps. It's
it slaps.
Than today.
Yeah, new subwoofers hit. But Barry, welcome on.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, well, my name is Barry. I am 24 years old and live in Denmark. And I found Birchie on random day on a Twitch and said hello and joined the Discord, and somehow we now are friends and speaking online.
For a good few years now.
Times. Yeah. And obviously you can't see it, but I sit in a wheelchair, which I've been done the most of the time, like maybe 4 to 3 years. It's still pretty new for me. Before I used to walk around and sit on the chair a bit and walk around if I need to pee and such. But now I'm permanently sitting on a wheelchair. It has to be lifted around when I have to go to the toilet or visit or go to the bathroom, whatever it is. So I have 4 helpers. You can call them caretakers. That works for me 24 hours a day. So I have a scheduled plan where I put each helper into every day who comes in. So they get paid for doing the job.
So you have Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy.
Yes.
Yeah, DMD. So that's super rare, right?
It is a condition, apparently, the theory. No woman has it.
I've heard
but lately there was one woman that actually got it. It can happen, but rarely. They say the mother used to have the gene, the mom. But my mom doesn't have it. So I've got my condition somehow weird. So when I was 2.5, they took a bit of skin, I heard, and they are going to find out that I got this condition.
Wow, so 2.5 years old.
Yeah, but you could see later on that I got this condition, but the ones that had my condition, other people would not stand or something like that. I could walk around a long time before even went in a wheelchair.
Right.
So I think this was in Corona, right before Corona. I broke my back before the lockdown, actually.
You broke your back before lockdown?
Yeah, 4 places on the back.
Oh.
Staple ribs broken. And they sent me out to the hospital, and I had the cassette on 3 months. 3 months I was laying down and sitting up.
Stuck in a bed for 3 months.
The only thing I did was reading books. I read around 50 to 100 pages a day.
Ooh,
just
nice.
to survive this shit, right? That was pretty hard. So I started to learn again to walk. But the walking was a bit worse than before. Before I could walk without any help. Now I have to hold my caretaker's hands to hold me stable to walk. But then some years back from now, I broke my legs. So I break my legs and bones really fast because I also got my condition of the bones. They are really fragile.
Is that
Because of my
part of
condition.
Duchenne? Yeah, that's part of
No,
the.
that's actually my medicine that have done this.
Oh,
Because of the medicine, you get this condition also. They are kind of making your bones weaker because of the medicine.
right.
Like
So,
taking small pieces out of the mass, you can call it that.
right.
So I
Yeah.
have very weak bones, so I end up breaking my legs too. So the physiotherapy or whatever you call it told me to say
Physiotherapy.
you can walk if you want to learn it, but we're not gonna make you fall again and get up and repeat because it's only getting worse if I fall down.
Right.
So when I broke the leg, the doctor told me you were really lucky you didn't have to be operated on the leg. So I survived that. So now I've been sitting in the wheelchair and adapting around
Yeah.
by that.
So going back to like what actually is DMD or like Duchenne muscular dystrophy for those that don't know.
So said in other words, it's like your muscles getting weaker by time.
So it's a
So
genetic disorder, right?
it should be. We have a protein we don't have to building muscles. I can't build new muscles as someone go to the gym and working out.
Right.
I could go to the gym and work out, but I only could keep the muscles I already have. So if they are gone, they are gone. You can't build them up again.
Wow.
As if someone broke their legs, they will go to the training and every day they keep working, they will get up
Right.
at the same level, which I can't.
Right.
So you will only get weaker and weaker. And the thing that keeps you like this is the medicine to slow the process down.
Right. So there's like no cure for it. It is just
Yeah. You can get like a chronic sickness almost.
yeah. Yeah. So
So
would that be like when you broke your back? Was that kind of what led to you being in the bed for 3 months? Obviously, lost a
yeah,
lot of muscle, and then it's just
yeah,
you weren't able to
yeah.
build it back up.
I was not. So I was able to walk a bit again before I actually broke my leg. Or I had trouble like lifting my hands all the way up to the air or stuff like that. So because I sit in front of a table, my hands are just on the table, but I can't lift them as in
Yeah,
really high.
man, that it's such a crazy because I think I've read it was like 6 in 100,000 people have it.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people that has it. It's really rare.
But it's what was life like before? I said you were able to walk up until you were what, like 18, 19?
I actually think I walked when I was 19. 20, I was, I think 21 or something. I don't really remember. In 2022, 19, well, I could walk after I broke my back, so I learned to walk again. So it
That's
should be
remarkable.
22, 21 or something like that.
It's just the thought of breaking your back, like
Yeah,
itself is just sounds excruciatingly painful.
yeah. But I was
Like,
pretty lucky because I got the staple broken ribs on the back. So they
right,
didn't move, they were just broken.
right. So, wow. Yeah. So that must have been around the time when when did we first meet? It must have been
I think even it was before that. It was long before.
end of October 2021, did we meet?
GG was a streamer. It was around
GTO,
that time
yeah.
I
Yeah.
found you.
Yeah, because I think it was relatively new, like at the start of my streaming career.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Man,
That's
because
the thing where we meet each other, yeah.
we're in 2025 now. We've known each other like 3-4
3, 4
years.
years, yeah.
Man, I got to fly out there, and
Yeah, you have to.
I got
Once
to
you're
fly.
here, we're
I
gonna
got
treat you.
holidays. I got holidays to book off at work. I'll try. Let me see if I can get like a little 3-4 day weekend.
Yeah, it's really cheap, and I even
I think so.
don't mind half the ticket if it is like.
Behave. You're not paying for my ticket.
Yeah.
I pay for my own
So,
ticket. But
and
what's life like in Denmark? It's been
in
a place I've always
Denmark,
wanted to visit.
Well, to be honest, we're pretty lucky in Denmark because I got my help in Denmark, but even we think the system works, but on the other side, it doesn't because someone like me has to fight for their help.
Mm-hmm.
They could go into my room now and look at me and see my problems to solve this, but because of the system, they can deny my help. So I
Yeah.
have to use half my time to fight for what I want.
Man.
So my 4 helpers is called a BPA, which is a personalized assistance something package you get. But I fight it for when I was in high school. The first and second year, I fought it half the time to write to the government about this to even
Wow.
get it. So right before Corona, I actually got it, which also where I broke my back.
That's lucky timing.
So I got the lucky timing to solve this. So yeah, So Denmark is a good country, I would say, but there's also some stuff that could be improved, the hospitality and such like that. But the good part is you get money for studying, and the reason why everything is like seems free is because of the tax rate. You pay like almost half your money away to taxes in Denmark. And even remember when you buy a car, you need to pay for the plate,
Really?
which costs insane. That's why you don't see any Porsche, Lamborghinis, and stuff like that in Denmark a lot.
I did not
So
know
when you go
that.
to Germany, you see it's a lot different. It's
Yeah.
cheaper to have a car like that.
Yeah.
But in here, it's expensive. There's something
Wow.
like on sugar on everything. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
take a
Sugar, I
little
can
bit
imagine.
of. Yeah.
So I suppose it's higher taxes, but then do you kind of see they put a lot back into society,
Yeah.
and you kind of the way of living is
Yeah. So
well,
the
so they say
school,
is
you
better.
don't have to pay for going to school either.
Well, like
So
universities and stuff.
yeah, the only thing you have to pay for is like your own books and such. But stuff like that, your rent can't be paid. But it's someone like me, I was pretty lucky because of the studying. You can get this handicap money, you can call it. So I get a double the amount.
Yeah.
So someone that get 5,000, I get 10,000.
Right.
I get the double amount because I can't work. Because somebody else would work, which is when you're a student, I think anyway, it's pretty hard to have low on money. But it does work in Denmark, yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose, and you just use that money to pay for your carers or for any like extra.
I actually don't pay for my cares. They're also paid by the government.
Oh, perfect.
So I don't have to think about that. So if I do
That's
good to my
covered.
helpers and I don't do these harassments and such, they
Yeah.
will of course not take it from me. So yeah.
Okay, that's good then. So you're still studying. You've been studying for a few years.
Yeah, so I passed my first part of my education actually.
What is it
I
you're
got
studying?
the AP graduate in marketing manager.
Marketing management.
So I
Okay.
actually got the education right now, but I keep studying because I need some money and I need to go on pension in the future. So I can only do that even when I have Danish citizenship or I need to be 25.
Right.
That's the rules here, which is weird because I'm born in Denmark.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because you're born in Denmark. Your family's from, is it Bangladesh? Sri
Sri
Lanka.
Lanka, yeah,
I have Bangladesh in my head. So Sri
yeah,
Lanka. So, so you got Sri Lankan heritage, but you were born in Denmark, and yet you
yeah,
still have to fight for Danish
citizenship,
citizenship.
yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
It doesn't. Well, that's how it is.
It is what it is. So are you
It is.
still fighting for that citizenship now?
No, I have to take the test. I need to pass that first.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a test that not even half the Danish people can answer.
I remember you telling me some of the questions once, and I was like, how is anyone supposed to know that? Like,
It's like someone that's interested will, of course, answer them, but someone like me that isn't is
yeah.
pretty hard. I actually know the normal things like Christmas and such, but other stuff I don't know, like what happened in 1700, I don't know.
Who's the Danish prime minister in 1897?
Yeah, something like that. The question has to be repeated until you know them.
Right.
It takes some time, and some people they're like really crazy and actually passed it. Someone who can't even speak the language can pass it. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here after 4 times. I can't even pass it yet.
Oh man.
So I've been sitting here and looking at me. What am I doing?
What am I doing wrong? Why?
And it should be easier than what I have studied, but it isn't, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
man.
something's wrong.
Maybe you're just in your head
Yeah.
about it.
It could be.
Yeah. You know
Something
it.
like
You know
that.
the answers. You know the answers.
Yeah.
So like, talk to us on like a day to day. What's your day to day kind of routine with DMD?
My day-to-day routine, well, not a lot happens because I'm studying online, so I'm not getting out of the door. I'm not that type of person. I'm mostly introvert. I'm not good at a lot of people. I'm not good at going out, and if it's too cold, you can be afraid of being sick, which I shouldn't be. So
Is that
most
a
of the
risk?
time, it's a risk because if it's too cold outside and you can't keep your warm because I don't have muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So when I try to keep warm and use a lot of energy and get tired,
Right.
so when I'm in every day, I'm like getting up maybe 12 o'clock or in sometimes earlier, but 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, I get up and my helpers are of course changed. So 8 o'clock they change out.
Right.
So a new one hopefully comes and I tell them what to get up. So they help me up. So I have a lift
Right.
me up at the chair. And I tell them if I'm hungry, I get some food, some breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
maybe some tea or drink some iced tea, and then later on I'll drink a cola. But the most of the time
Nice.
I've been sitting in front of the computer.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find some weird on YouTube, scrolling shorts or whatever we do
Yeah. Yeah.
nowadays, and watch some videos, listen to some music,
Mm-hmm.
and play some games. So
I was gonna say, is that where kind of your love for gaming and things like that came from? Was
yeah, because I've been gaming a lot because that's what most of us with my condition does. I have one friend, he played a lot of World of Warcraft and League of Legends, and since I moved out, I bought my own computer with some upgrades before that. So I've been playing more newer games, Call of Duty, and
yeah.
changing a bit to Monster Hunter Wilds, and yeah, that's where
Nice.
my intro to gaming is coming
It's
from.
a good escape for you.
It's a good escape because what else should you do? I can't go out and play a football if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have the mind to it, but your body physically can't.
Yeah. Do you ever have things where you're like, fuck, I really wish I could do that. I really wish I could do that. So,
Sometimes I have the idea of what will happen if I wasn't got this condition. Let's just say I'm really religious sometimes and think about what if God did this or that. I see this as a reason why I'm sitting here is because of the will of the gods. So if God would put me in a normal body, what will happen? So sometimes I've been thinking about, well, of course I could wipe my own ass because actually I can't do it right now. I need help. And I could
yeah.
take my own shower and just find out, oh, have some soap over your head, like scratching your head, you're on your own, and like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
finished. Just take 5 minutes in the shower.
Uh-huh.
And then perhaps I maybe will take some to eat and go to the gym just to feel like, how is it to lift the weights? Is
Yeah.
it really what people say, or are they just saying, oh, it hurts? And maybe take a run and then perhaps find out what it is to be normal. But it's not like something that I think about every day, but sometimes it will be important to know how could it be to be a human. But well, when you're sitting here, it's a lot of different story.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to, because I think for so many people just take like, everyday things for granted,
Yeah,
and until I like imagine someone that can walk, talk, and
yeah,
wipe their own ass, and if they were to put themselves into your position for a day,
yeah,
how many people would struggle and would just not be able to cope?
yeah. So it's more of when you are sitting here, it's more of, I sit in the front of the computer from 12 o'clock to, I don't know,
Mhm.
1 a.m. because I can't sleep, right? But in the meantime, let's just say you went to work. Half of the time will be gone like this because you're on work.
Mhm.
So your time has been filled,
Yeah.
but my time hasn't. I have been sitting on the computer since you went to work. So maybe
Mhm.
that seems like, why don't you do anything? We should go outside. But that's not what you can, because you can't do what do you want, just to look out at the birds and be depressed by your own thoughts? Or will you make your thoughts go away and just play some games? That's more of how I want it.
Yeah, I suppose it's how you cope with it and how you deal with it and what works for you, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
for some people, looking at the birds might be beneficial, might
refreshing.
might
Yeah,
be refreshing. Yeah, they're gaming, but if for you getting stuck in and gaming and watching YouTube and taking in content is what helps the bad thoughts, then
yeah.
then that's great. But man, I really, what was it like going? Because I thought you get normally you get diagnosed from what the ages of 2 to 3 is like the normal.
Yeah,
But how is that going from being able to walk and kind of do stuff to then having to become more and more reliant on other people to look after yourself?
it's
How did that?
it's really hard because it seems like when you go a baby too old, you're going the same cycle, just a
Mm,
longer time. But for me, the time has shortened. So I have some friends that died 1 year ago, Christmas time, with my condition.
really?
He said no to have a respirator. That could be one thing, or other
Uh-huh.
things, because he was so much in pain with the body. So they said no, I don't want to have this machine to
Right.
help me take some air in. So they will maybe say no, or there could be a lot of stuff that you wake up on there, you can't get air and you're dead. That's like, that could happen with my condition, quite literally.
Yeah.
But the time has shortened in the way of when you wake up, there's a day, but right now I'm not using a machine to put air in my lungs.
Hmm.
Only when I sleep. So I have sleep apnea,
Hmm.
which we often get, some of us, but when we wake
Yeah.
up, it's like you don't know what to do. So you have everything, but right now in my situation, not everybody, like my condition, has the situation because of my citizenship.
Hmm.
I have to think about money. Where am my money coming from, and how? And do I need to keep studying? Yes, you have to, else you can't get
Hmm.
money. It's even harder to even wake up to study. It makes my muscles weak, and I get tired and
Yeah, I bet.
frustrated, and yeah.
Yeah. So, but your studying basically is your job, is
Yeah, you
you
can kind of call
working.
it my job, even when people say you have to study for your interest.
Hmm.
But right now, it's pretty hard to make it an interest when you need money for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my income, it's the studying.
Hmm.
Even when I'm not liking it, I have to take this route because it matched up. And I didn't pass the first time, but
Hmm.
when I passed the second time, I got the top up, which is I'm studying now.
Right.
In the precise time of when I finished here, I could go to this. So I get money whatever I do
Hmm.
because the limits of the days are just right after each other. So
Right.
since I got out of ninth grade, studied 10th grade, I had kept studying actually. Since I
Hmm.
started studying, I haven't stopped. There hasn't
That's
been any day where I have stopped
yeah.
studying.
That's good though. I feel like it's a good way for your like to take up time of your day through studying because I feel like a lot of people will finish school and then that's it. They just stop learn. They just I don't need
Yeah,
to learn anymore. I just go work and just go home. But I feel like we should never stop learning. I think
yeah,
Kira's quote from a few episodes ago was always continue to want to learn more.
yeah,
So I think that works for any kind of studies you want to do, be that learning about mental health or DMD or just your
yeah,
marketing. It works. But
yeah,
so what kind of keeps you going? Like when you have, I'm assuming you have harder days and better days, like we all do. What kind of keeps you going?
that's a really hard question because sometimes it's just follow what everybody does.
Mhm.
Follow the matrix, as they say nowadays.
Follow the matrix.
Which is like following the matrix is really hard when you live like me. You wake up for what? You go to bed for what?
Mm-hmm.
That's the questions I keep asking me. Like sometimes I end up in this bad circle, and the way to come out of it is like calm down the thoughts and think about stuff that make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, why are you sitting in this place right now? What can you do to get out of it?
Yeah.
And what makes me happy is more of keep smiling even when stuff are hard. But in the inner thoughts, we never know what someone thinks.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I'm happy, it could be a mask for not showing what I really feel. Because when we tell someone our inner thoughts, we're afraid of getting hurt on the other way. Because we already have done that. But we got hurt, so we are getting more insecure.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have good friends, that a few friends is your golden circle, as they say.
Yeah.
That's what keep you going. You need to see someone that you feel happy for, the other way around.
Yeah.
And or else you could say like I'm believer in God and say take my burden and let it go as it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me here now, I'm here, and if you don't want me here, put me somewhere else.
Yeah. So you Christian, you're religious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you always been, or did you find faith later on in life?
Nah, there was some personal stuff in between those.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
But we've been Hindus before. That's most what they are in
Okay.
Sri Lanka and such.
Yeah.
So and now we are Christians.
Right.
So yeah.
So you were raised Hindu, but then obviously
Yeah.
you
Well, I
because
think until I was 5 years old, we were Hindus, and then I went Christian. Yeah.
interesting.
So yeah.
I guess that was more of just a family thing rather than you making a conscious decision at such a
But
young age.
so yeah, but before after that, we started to like find out why and what, and
Mm-hmm.
for me, it make more sense to believe in Jesus Christ than believing in the theory of Big Bang. For
Right.
me, it just seems it couldn't. Is for me, it seems how can the gravity be so perfect right now without just the Big Bang could done that? I don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Interesting. Interesting. I like that. I've always been a bit, I think they call it agnostic. So I'm not an
yeah,
atheist. Like I don't believe in God, but I also don't believe in God. I don't know what's out there. I don't know,
yeah,
and I'm like kind of open to theories and whatever may be out there. So it's there's definitely some kind of higher power, I believe.
yeah,
I feel like there's something that we draw energy from,
yeah,
and be that a god or whatever. But I think there's definitely something out there.
yeah,
So going on to like you were saying about people smiling and kind of having a bit of a mask with it. I've always seen you like genuine as like one of the most positive people I know.
So
Like, go on.
I'm trying to be positive most of the time. For showing people like this is literally me. I'm not trying to hide or such like that, but because there will be
Hmm.
stuff I will be hiding. That's what we all do.
Yeah.
We can't tell someone everything because I think we get hurt. So I try to smile because I know it gives people a good day to smile at them, give them a compliment or like
Hmm.
something like that. But I think with our condition, we are good at looking at what we think, what other things, but kind of see like what are we doing? Are we doing something wrong? And positive can be a good thing, but sometimes when we hurt someone by mistake, maybe I said something or done something or even wrote something, sometimes it could be pretty harsh on us and we don't even speak for days if it's even like that happens.
Yeah.
And I have most of my life seen when I have done something bad and I could literally see on their faces that they're not happy with what I have done, but they haven't told me.
Right.
But they keep denying it, and then because I sit in a wheelchair, it's oh sorry guy, we can't tell you because
Do you get that a lot? People kind of
I
treating you or
often
acting
get
differently?
that a lot because sometimes you also feel forgetting because when I've done something, of course people get angry, but instead of just ignoring it, please tell me because I don't know it otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the social, I just better shut up because maybe if I said something I shouldn't, or yeah,
Yeah, I think we can all get a bit like that sometimes where we're afraid to say the wrong thing or to upset someone. But
yeah,
I can imagine it must be quite some. Correct me if I'm wrong, but would you'd surely prefer someone to just tell you and
yeah.
treat you
That's a normal
as
human
if yeah, like the
because sometimes it can. When someone gets told as normal, don't do this. But when you don't get that told often, you feel it like attack.
mhm,
So you go in defense mode instead of trying to listen,
yeah,
which can be pretty hard. So it's better that more people tell you this is wrong. More you
mhm,
know of this, I will not do it next time, but I will not go in defense mode as quite literally because
yeah,
yeah, you haven't told me. So yeah,
yeah. I can be guilty of that, going into defense mode where someone's maybe saying something, just oh, like just letting you know kind of thing, and then I
yeah,
kind of take it personally, and I can maybe react the wrong way or not quite in the best way that I could. I think also how people word it as well, I think, and how they say things.
yeah. That's also different because you could set when just want me to tell me something. It's you can say it in different ways and a lot of different ways,
Hmm.
and some meaning are better to use than others. And if we
Yeah.
don't learn that, it's pretty harsh. To I don't like you. It's like all right, if you don't like me, I don't care. But
Hmm.
what don't you like about me could be more useful than
Yeah. Having reasons and as into why
yeah,
you don't like, or you made me feel this reason, but like you made me feel this way because like,
because you have done this, and
yeah.
you don't have to say more and clear than that.
Hmm.
Then there's no personal attack because I felt like this because we don't know when we write to someone, we don't know how they feel.
Hmm.
And I think it's also come from gaming sometimes. We learn to talk really bad to each other on ranked games or
Gets
PvP
toxic.
games,
Yes.
where it's like it's really toxic. You have to be really good at holding it out. So when I play League of Legends with some of my friends,
Hmm.
they get angry and put out a lot of words where I'm like, come on man, it's just a game and take it slow. But then they keep screaming. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I don't play with them, even when they know. It's just they want to play with me, it's fine enough, but I don't like when people are like using bad words or stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I definitely think gaming, it's got to a point where it is so toxic. Any kind of
Yeah,
like multiplayer gaming or like say ranked competitive modes, it's the go to is insults, and I feel like it
yeah,
gets really bad as well. It's not just like, oh, you're a dickhead, where it's just like it's like personal attacks and can be sexist or racist or homophobic.
yeah,
Can get really bad. I think
yeah,
I've spent enough time playing with like gaming with women and hearing just how they get treated
yeah,
is like despicable.
yeah.
But yeah, what games you playing at the moment?
Or at the moment, I'm playing Monster Hunter. I'm playing some League of Legends actually still.
You love a
The
bit of
interesting
League.
about League of Legends is like you have a lot of characters, so you have a lot of to learn of one character.
Hmm.
It's pretty hard just to learn everything and every one of characters of in the game. So you kind of pick some main characters and some main lanes
Hmm.
you want to learn, and you kind of try to get better at it and try like that. So you have something to do than just playing the game.
Yeah, you kind of it doesn't get boring because you can kind of constantly mix it up, I suppose.
There's always something to do in League of Legends, and sometimes it can be hard. So you
Hmm.
have to like take breaks. What they actually recommend the one if you want to get better. But right now I'm playing for fun. I'm playing some Monster Hunter Wilds.
I've seen that game. Looks quite fun.
Yeah. And then some Call of Duty just a little bit here and there. And the rest of the time is YouTube scrolling, Instagram, looking at short and reels. It just gives me ideas of to make
Mhm.
content, but I never do them.
Yeah, so what's how comes you've taken a bit of a hiatus on the content, right? Because you were
Yeah.
grinding the streaming for a long time.
Yeah, something, I don't know what happened, but I got really tired sometimes in the moment when I stream,
Mhm.
where my body just gives up almost, right? So I stopped the stream after 1 hour, and then it just keep denying and didn't want to. I got tired of it,
Mhm.
and something that held me back was more of the people that comes in and just comments random bullying shit.
Yeah.
That keeps me away, and I know why they're writing it because I look a bit weird than the others, and that makes my insecurities a bit higher. And sometimes I just don't want to do it because, yeah,
It's just not worth the
yeah,
it's
for me it
horrible.
doesn't feel worth. But you need to
The
keep grinding if you really want it to work.
Mhm.
That's the one thing. It's two different things that going against each other.
Yeah. It's hard because it's like you don't wanna let those kind of negative comments get to you or affect you or stop you from doing what you wanna do, but it can be so difficult to.
Yeah, it's really hard because I have been bullied for, and I also have been the bully. I've been in the both stages actually.
Really?
I don't know how much of a bully I was because you were more of when you're in a group and they target this guy.
Mhm.
Maybe you're laughing, but I'm not kinda do the stuff that they do. So in that way, I have been the bully, like with the group, but
Or, like, joining
I've
in on
also,
things.
yeah, but I haven't done the things, but just
Mhm.
watching.
Right.
Well, whatever, if you're watching or not, you're still in the middle of it.
You're not doing anything about it, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've been the one that's been bullied about how I look, and I've been slapped on, and I don't know whatever happened in these
Mhm.
classrooms. And the
Slapped on?
biggest, yes, I've been slapped too in
What?
classrooms, and
No
not by
way.
teachers, but just say it's been pretty cruel as me as being a
Yeah.
child because there was no teachers or whatever happened that believed me when I tell something happens. So I end up crying, and I can even see the scenes in front of my eyes when I
Oh
think
my
about what
gosh.
happened these days.
Yeah.
I'm not angry at that they happened, but I'm actually happy about that that kept going, even when stuff like that happens.
Mhm.
And that's what makes me maybe smile a bit more today because now I can look at them and be like, yeah, you did this, but at least I am happy, but I don't know where you are.
Yeah.
But I don't have to care about that anymore. So,
Yeah. That I think that says a
but
lot to your mindset.
it was also about that next time someone like me, or whatever it is, I wish they had like a teacher with them all the time because we are targeted anywhere where we go.
Mhm.
As a small child, when you sit in a wheelchair, it's the first thing in front of kids. They're gonna bully you.
Yeah.
Why grown-ups don't think about this before they put them to schools or whatever it is? Because we get bullied.
Mhm.
But my mind works as everybody else, so it doesn't make sense to put me in a special group of people because
Right.
that's not where I am. I am in the middle of the both worlds.
Yeah.
You understand both worlds, but when you put us alone, we feel insecure. We don't know what to do.
Mhm.
When we get bullied, we get mad, and then we get, oh, you can't get mad like that.
Uh-huh.
But that's son as a teacher that goes around with me 24 hours a day. If that if that
What?
helps.
Yeah.
And if I had Ice Cube in front of me, like go to the side of like, what's up? And like singing the Gotta Shit song, you know?
Mhm.
Another crip
Man.
walk in front of that. I think they would be afraid, but I
Do
don't
the
care.
crip walk.
I don't care.
Would
But
that be the first
but
thing you could do if you could stand up again and walk, would be crip
I would
walking?
do the crip walk, bro. I would also do it naked in my own toilet and like take a video. Yeah, crip walk.
Uh,
That could be kind of funny, yeah.
I would
Or
pay to see
even
that.
try out how it is to be cleaning with music. You know, the fun moments you have when you're home alone and have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
clean your room, but you have to do something with it.
Yeah, it's just blasting music and just
Plastic music and then check the vacuum and
yeah.
dancing around it, right?
That's so cool, man, because I think a lot of people will look at that and like, oh, to clean my house or I've got to do this. But when you put it into perspective for you, you'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah. But I also think I will get the drag like everybody else
Yeah, of course.
because I have been sitting here in my wheelchair, I get another perspective.
Hmm.
So it could be because I was sitting here was to give other people the perspective of this is how it is to sit in a wheelchair. Our life is a lot shorter than normal people, so remember to learn from us or take whatever it is, not take it for granted.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's it's such an easy thing to take for granted. Even just something simple as walking. Like
Yeah.
I tore my meniscus in my knee at the start of this year, so I squatted down at
Ooh.
work and I stood up and my knee just popped. It just
Ooh.
tore,
Yeah.
and I wasn't able to walk for a few
Yeah.
weeks, or at least I could, but I was extreme pain, and then I could barely move my leg. And even now, I still can't bend down, and it's
Ooh.
been 3 months, and it's nowhere near a serious injury as it could be. But I hadn't had an injury that's been
Yeah.
debilitating to my day-to-day life for such a long time. And even just with that, I'm like, damn, I really have been taking a lot of things for granted, even though I try and be
Yeah.
grateful and gratuitous for everything, like every day. I'm like, damn, I could be more, because
Yeah.
it's just it's hard, and I can't imagine being in a even more debilitating state of not being able to walk at all. Like, it's
Yeah.
super grateful,
Yeah.
but
But it's also a learning curve to be like, can you adapt to this new situation? Of course, it will be hard
yeah,
on you,
yeah,
especially when you have walked around all these years and suddenly just now you have to sit down and rethink about your whole life. You will get frustrated if someone just talks their mouth out
mm-hmm,
and don't know what happened to you and such like that. But because my limit has been a bit small, I have walked around and it just seems like it's just getting taken from you slowly,
mm-hmm,
but faster than others.
yeah,
So yeah, that could
yeah,
be a reason why we adapt so fast because we have to adapt.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people can, in your situation, could easily have just rolled over and just like, ah, this is shit. This is and just really plummeted mentally. How I find that you have such a strong mindset with
Yeah,
life, and just you always ooze positivity and gratefulness, and just where did that mindset come from of being able to just stay so positive even in your
I think
situation?
it's kind of everything of my life happens. So I take everything that happens as a bad thing to a good thing. Because we can't have a perfect life, and if it was perfect, it would be so freaking boring.
Hmm.
I think we will end up being crying instead of being happy when everything was perfect. And I think that's why we haven't get the idea of what perfect is yet. Because if we know the idea of what it is, we can't be it.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. So when we use the word perfect, it's not. It's just something non-existing.
Mm.
And I think that's part of my life to see the stuff of, all right, I have broken my back, I have broken my leg, but at least I live in Denmark. I haven't seen war yet. I
Hmm.
am not living in a world of war right now with 2 kids and a wife. Let's just take that example.
Yeah.
Half a man today, what a man is. I think a man is a pretty hard thing to explain what it is because there's a lot of things nowadays. But when you live in a war, afraid of being bombed down, I'm
Yeah.
lucky. I don't have to feel that at the moment. And to even feel depressed or whatever it is kind of a luxury. Because I don't think when we were in old times hunting for food, had time to be depressed.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Because if you have time to be depressed, why not everybody be depressed?
Uh-huh.
Well, a rich man with a lot of money would be had time to depress. That's what they say. Money don't buy happiness.
It does
It's
not.
because you have time to be depressed, but you don't have time to be happy. So
Hmm.
when you don't have anything, it's easier to be happy than when you have everything. It's harder to be happy.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. you're right. They didn't have time to be depressed. Like
Yeah,
saying we have the luxury to
of
be
being
of
depressed.
being depressed.
And now we're using it and getting more money out by going to the psychology and be like, do this and do that. Then you come back a week after and then you're paid, I don't know how much you pay, right?
Mm.
So you kind of fight for that and you kind of need to put money in so you can get treated as you think. But I think most of it also come from how willing are you to get this fixed?
Yeah.
Because I could sit in a corner right now and be crying out loud without standing up and keep crying and just give it up all if I want to, but I don't.
No. Yeah. It's the choice is completely down to you. It's
Yeah,
what you do with the card you've been dealt at the end of the day, and it's
yeah.
you work and make the best of a bad
What you have.
situation of what you
Yeah,
have. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's something I've always looked up to you about is just being able to make the best out of what you have.
yeah. I think that's easy to remember because I have a dream of when well, of course, it would get faster when I didn't have this condition, but the dream of live somewhere out in the woods with a beautiful house
Mm.
in the middle of the water, yeah, with a wife and maybe a dog and a kid and a bed and a TV, I don't know,
Hmm.
for ourselves out in the dark where no one can come in and out, and only
Yeah.
the closest one are allowed to come in, and no phones either and social media. I'm full on into that.
Hmm. What? No
Like
social media.
no social media. I don't have anything against it, but it just feels me occupied of why do we keep scrolling?
Hmm.
And quite literally, there's no reason why we keep scrolling. We are just getting attached to something with the emotional stuff, like we attach to chocolate or sugary soda stuff.
Yeah, it's like chasing a dopamine hit or chasing that feeling of just to feel good or something like that.
Yeah, it is an addiction that we are dealing with.
Yeah.
And I have problem with soda. I drink soda almost every day, but I start to calm it on sugar and put no sugar now.
Hmm.
But the amount I'm drinking is not a lot. Before in time, it was a lot more.
Yeah.
It's about how much can we control ourselves because before we get insane.
Hmm. Yeah. No, it's we too much of anything is bad.
Yeah,
And I think I know I've especially since stopping streaming. So like that's the whole thing with streaming was you had to just constantly be there and be on every social media, constantly
yeah,
talking to people in 10 different discords and just kind of having these empty conversations just to keep up appearances,
yeah,
just to try and get to people, trying to keep people coming back to streams and things like that. And it just becomes exhausting.
it is. It's not good for your mind because you're
No.
getting negative and positive and whatever someone find out about the rat, you can't eat this and you can't eat that on a fish because it's black. Like this is the proof of the fish. Like why?
Yeah.
This information is nothing true.
Hmm.
It's just wrong because a fish are fish. But
Fish is a fish. But we live in like a world where there's just so much information that it's just information to overload.
yeah,
So it's like you don't, and it's obviously not necessarily all true information. So this is where
yeah,
I find I just get overstimulated with just there's just so much going on that like I kind of just black out and have to just
yeah.
step away from everything. I don't message people. I don't scroll. I'm kind of just like existing.
I often call people on their phones when I am sitting in a dinner table somewhere and eating
Hmm.
some steak and some potatoes and such. Sometimes I see people pick the phone up and speaking in phones and such.
Mm.
And I'm the one that's like, check my phone, put it in my bag, right?
Yeah,
And I'm sitting there and eating my food and like, why are you not talking? Why are you sitting on the phone in front of me? It's like,
I hate
so it
that.
doesn't matter where we sat anyways then.
Hmm.
Then we could just sit at home and eat the steak.
Yeah,
Because you don't mind where we are. You don't looking at the phone anyway.
Yeah, you could be
And
anywhere in the world, but you're still looking at your
yeah,
phone.
I started to like leave my phone in my room and go in the kitchen and eat with my helper sometimes, so I don't get occupied by it.
Hmm.
So when you eat, and when you watch a movie, you watch a movie.
Yeah. I'm guilty for that with movies. With food, I will never be scrolling on my phone, be that at home
No,
or out for dinner. I kind of
I think when you watch your phone, it's about how it's stitched out for you. So when you have a partner or friend or whatever it is, as soon you see they have the phone, is keep blinking and
mhm.
thinking, you think this guy have some friends. So you want to feel the same thing. That's why you check your phone. With you
Yeah.
both, let's just say both of when you and your partner, as an example, leave your phone in a room and in the closet and put a key in to lock it up. Go and watch a movie. You can't open it again, and
Hmm.
but then you're like, all right, let's watch a movie then.
You appreciate what you're doing more, and you appreciate the time you have with them, and really
Yeah.
like be present and be in the moment. I think that's what I'm trying to do a lot more of these
So if the
days.
phone is so important for you, then why are you sitting in front of the screen in
Mm,
the TV or sitting with your partner? If the
yeah.
phone is so important, then leave your partner and leave your screen and go away with your phone.
Yeah. So it was so cringe, isn't it? If you're ever out in a restaurant or something like that and you see a couple and they're both on their phone or one of them's on their phone, I'm just like, why are you
Yeah.
here? Unless it's an emergency situation, obviously, but like normally it's not.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, mobile, social media, it's all too much of it. I think there is positives to it. I think there is good sides of it, but too much
Yeah.
of it and at the right time as well. There's like a time and a place for it. You
But
don't
I
have to be
think
on it all the
where
time.
it also comes from is how you were grown by it. So
Mm,
when I was a kid, my mom don't have smartphones. The smartphones was not out so much yet.
yeah.
But the HTC phone, I don't know if you remember that phone.
Yeah, HTC, yeah.
Yeah, the phone quite literally just came out. I bought one of them once.
Hmm.
But when I was a kid, we didn't have internet for 3 to 4 years or something before we got it.
Yeah.
So I got the feeling of how it is to go outside and play football, like with your friends, and like you go in for drinks of water and out again to like dinner time and go home and
Yeah.
eat, and then you ran out again or something like that.
Those were
I
the
remember
days.
those times were the ones that you remember a lot more than the ones when you. Well, I never got an iPad actually when I was a kid either,
Hmm.
and I never got the feeling of gaming in the same way. So in that way, I know how it is to be without the phone, and that still sits on me because they were the happiest times. You remember
So
when you were
much.
sitting with the family and grilling outside, or
Yeah.
you just had the best barbecue ever, the
Oh,
potato salad or whatever you could remember. Yeah,
stop it. It makes me hungry.
that's the time like where I see the good thing in it. Why people does it. I also like to do them more
Mm.
often when it's summertime. But it's also more about I have to think about where is the toilet actually, because when I eat something too spicy or too good, and they're gonna fill up your stomach, I'm just gonna sit there. I can't sit in my chair, like stuff like that.
Oh
Sometimes I
God.
think about like when I go somewhere, do I
That's but
need these
yeah.
things or not?
Yeah.
But if you just go outside my room, I don't care. I'll go out to the thing and eat.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's it is crazy. I think, especially, I feel like I'm at that age as well. I'm turning 30 this year, so it's
yeah,
I got a good balance of life before social media and internet and mobiles and like all this digital stuff, and I had the outdoors, the outside, the natural. If you wanted to hang out with a friend, you'd walk around to their house and knock on their door and
yeah,
ask their parents, "Oh, is Sam home?" Like,
yeah.
and it was, yeah. You
Or the
didn't
time
just,
you brought your Game Boy outside with them to play Pokemon or
yeah,
whatever you did.
yes,
Yeah,
I did that
that's the
so
one.
much. A little Game Boy Advance. We
Yeah,
would just sit in. We would have like sleepovers. Would stay around someone's friend, like a friend's house for the weekend, just playing your Game Boys all weekend. So it's like you were still gaming or with this digital, but you were still together, and you wouldn't do it the whole time. You would do it for a few hours and then run around, play football, and play
Yeah,
with wrestling figures or whatnot. And
yeah. There are the times we need to bring back, but I also think that social media can be the way of telling you this if they do it properly.
mm-hmm.
Make it very illustratable, like what happens if you go out and what can you do outside, or like top things to do outside today, 2025 edition.
Yeah, I feel
And then
like
like play football or try to learn to skate, do your first ollie or whatever
ooh,
you could you could do, right?
too afraid of skateboarding.
Yeah, but skateboard can also be if that's too afraid, they could be like, try this instead, or
I did
take
have
your
the
walk on outside with your friends and ask your mom, can I do this? Yes.
water
And keep
fight.
splashing you.
Yeah, I used to love neighborhood water fights, just filling up water bombs. Like,
Yeah.
oh
Like
man,
make a whole wall with this. Like there could be that's something I remembered I did once when I was a kid.
mm.
So yeah, that's I even played the Beyblades, like, and I never had one actually.
Oh,
But my
Beyblades.
cousins, he had a lot of Beyblades.
Uh-huh.
We had one down. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Beyblades are iconic, man. You saw the
Yeah.
little arenas and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I do have the pictures, but I never used them. Like,
uh-huh.
I only saw the. I was probably still small when this happens,
Mm-hmm.
and my friends they were a bit older than me when this happens. So,
Yeah. Oh man.
but I have seen it, grown up with it, and I even grew up on CDs actually
Mm-hmm.
when I was a kid. And you also have when I was a kid, we also have the small discs you put in the stereo music
Uh,
thing. You
cassettes.
know, with the black tapes around it
Yeah,
inside.
cassettes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cassettes.
Oh wait, you mean like the video or the music?
Both actually.
Yeah, so the cassettes was the music, and then VHS was the
Yeah,
video.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
actually had both once I was a kid.
Nice.
But I never watched movies and so I just had them at home.
Yeah, we had a
And
few
that
of
was
them.
kinda it.
Yeah, it's kind of worrying that like so many kids they just get an iPad at the age of 3 years old or whatever, and that's it. I
Yeah.
do kind of feel sorry for the newer generations coming through that are just, man, you miss so much.
Yeah.
Like I remember we had our summer holidays, so end of school, you get 6 weeks off, and we were just there was a summer holidays. We just spent every day in the woods, just building a den, like building like a base. We were like going out hunting. We would delegate jobs to each other. Someone would go
Yeah.
out and make seats and build a wall. We'd build traps and things like that. And like it was just kids being harmless kids. And I think like,
Yeah.
I walk through the woods quite a lot now, on my way to work
Yeah.
and on the way home, and I just don't see people. Like, I don't see kids out playing
Yeah.
as much.
It's weird they don't do more of these things.
Mm,
But I think the times has changed as well because of it. We are more in the digital world of where people are saying, alright, because you are home now, we can give you more work than before.
mm,
Which is like, alright, just because we're digital, you think we can do more. We're
yeah,
still the same human being, but
yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
and I think that's why the timing of time to give people and their kids go outside just like that, it's like pretty hard now because you have to keep an eye on them still.
Yeah. Do you think the world's more dangerous now?
Yeah, I think that's the thing too, because we heard about all these things that happen on
Mm,
social media about kids disappearing and this and that. I just think that's more disgusting. And I also think because they're more viable to the internet, it's easier to find them.
yeah,
Because they click, I just say Roblox. That's creepy, I heard. I'm not on Roblox, but I heard like you can speak to strangers.
yeah. I've
And you
heard
never
bad
know
stuff.
who's behind that screen
Mm-hmm.
that's sitting there and yeah, and speaking to you. It could be a 40 years old man just standing there and be like, hi kid, I am 21 years old
Oh,
or 15. And then meet you at your house, and
It's
then it knocks
just
on the
yeah,
door, and then
yeah.
someone disgusting.
It's so disgusting.
Yeah,
I feel like there does need to be more measures in gaming to protect from that kind of thing.
yeah. But also, the thing is hard because I remember in my time that small kids even got Facebook, and
Yeah.
I got my Facebook when I was 13 years old first.
Hmm.
I didn't get it before that, and that just shows that people just want to be on the medias now, but you get exposed a lot more.
Yeah, I bet there's kids way younger than 13 that have TikToks and stuff like that. TikTok's the big
Yeah,
one now, isn't
I
it?
know you speak to your mom, but your mom should say no
Mhm.
instead of allowing you so early because you don't know how many people are looking at your videos. A 15 years old could get a lot of money and all that, but
Mm.
and
Did you
literally a lot of people can watch you.
did you see that documentary on I think it was on Prime or Disney Plus about I think it was Ruby Frankie was her name. She was a big YouTuber. They were
I
like a
haven't seen it yet.
family. So like this classic American family,
Yeah,
husband, wife, 4 or 5 children, and they would make like family YouTube videos and stuff like that. They were making like millions and millions of dollars of like, oh, we're
yeah,
this happy-go-lucky family. Um, and then there's a documentary where it's basically all come out that she was kind of pretty much abusing, or she was abusing her children, um, psychologically and to a point physically, to star in these YouTube videos and like pressuring them and making them do things they don't want to do. And it was just this real dark turn on like, oh, social media are happy and we're this smiley family. And then the dark realities of it is like these kids are being
yeah,
abused.
yeah. I see
Super
that.
interesting documentary. Highly recommend it.
Maybe I should see it, but
Mhm.
that's kind of interesting that nowadays everything should look perfect on the camera before it's good
Mm,
content. But
yeah.
I think right now we need something about like an everyday perspective on YouTube.
Mhm.
Let's just say someone is recording 10 days in a straight, but like have small clips of every bit of it. Be like, I have done this and this is how it looks like and this is my house and I don't know, something like this is what I do and this is what I feed my kid or this is the reality of my income. I don't have enough money to pay
Mhm.
my rent. And I think a lot of you same people are the same like me
Mhm.
and kind of giving advice of what they're dealing with and how they're dealing with because I think some people like us have the same problems in common we don't think about.
Mhm.
There will always be something in common with every one of us that
Yeah.
we have dealt with before and still dealing with and can give advice on.
Mhm. Yeah, of course. I think there is a more of a thing for a more of a want for like real content now, like authentic people
Yeah.
being themselves. And it's hard to tell when people are being themselves, but I think it's
Yeah,
always
that's
comes
pretty
out.
hard today when people are themselves or not.
Mhm.
But I also
Yeah.
think social media kind of hides it because
Yeah.
you're kind of one thing on social media, but one thing in real life you're showing something else.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think that's why we should say never trust social media enough.
Until you talk with people, I don't think you really kind of get to know someone properly until you be able to sit down like this and just have a conversation and hang
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Um, so going on to we were just mentioning about like the documentary. There's a I haven't seen it yet, but you told me about it. There's a Netflix
yeah,
program at a movie, right, or documentary
yeah. It is
about
a
your
kind of yes documentary. Yeah,
so it's called the uh, remarkable life of Ebeline.
yeah, that's true.
Tell me a bit about it. Tell the people a bit about
Um,
that.
it's about this guy that have my condition, Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. But this muscle's getting weaker and weaker by time. Where we see this family with this kid growing up, and in that moment they are doing the movie is when he's dead. He is dead now,
Right.
and they're speaking about him, about like he lived in Sweden, I think. So he's
Right.
actually in Europe, like me, right?
Mhm.
So he grew up, and you see how he gets weaker by time. Like going up and down the stairs, and he needs to hold his hands, and he's getting weak. And you see him like from doing a lot outside to he gets his first console, a Game Boy, plays that more and more, and in the end he ends up like he should go to a concert, and he said no, he don't want to, so he goes in and play World of Warcraft. This is the world he lives in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of get this explanation of what World of Warcraft is, that he comes into a guild and he don't know these people, but somehow he connected with a lot of people. He even saved a mother-son relationship
No
through a
way.
game with
Wow.
some stuff, and somehow, right? So you following him, and he never got time to experience love the same way like you do or other people do with a girlfriend, because he didn't get it, as it seems in the movie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one woman in there that kind of made a drawing of him, the character in World of Warcraft, and her on a
Right.
picture really close. Seems like they were in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
but they never saw him speak. These people actually, he
Right.
lived online on World of Warcraft, and a lot of stuff happens. So it ends up like when he dies, the mom and dad get the password to the Facebook page and whatever it is, where he writes like where they write,
Mm-hmm.
our daring son is dead now, and suddenly they get a lot of comments on these pages, and there are a lot of like emails by these people, like thousands of people it seems, and more,
Mm.
writing back to them, we are sorry, and they are coming with explanation of what he have done to them online. And
Like
this
the
whole
impact he's
world
had.
this whole world just opened for the parents. They didn't know about this shit.
Wow.
So it opened up, and even the guy that owned the guild of World of Warcraft was meeting up at the funeral
No way.
and something like that. So they get through the whole thing where like, and me and Evelyn could be very similar in that kind of thing, but as you can see, I'm not as weak as he is in that movie, yeah. So that means I am still trying to having real friends in the real world, IRL, than just
Mm-hmm.
online as he did. Of course, that what he was necessary to do, but it just like people like saying you need to experience. It does make sense because your time is limited.
Mm-hmm.
And even well, the movie actually made me cry for a bit because it was touching. Like he's dead now, but you see, most of the time he's just sitting there
Mm.
and playing World of Warcraft. He's not moving from the chair. He keeps sitting and doing a long run in the game. It's like
Mm-hmm.
he's just going a route, like you're running outside. He's running in the game. He just sat there and do the same route for 1 hour. Well, like that's what you actually see outside. When you see someone like me, you actually see us in the chair, in front
Mm-hmm.
of the screen, not moving at all, just
Yeah.
standing there. That's really depressing. That's why I'm going to cry when I saw it, because it gave me the depression's feeling of, is that really how people also see me when I sit like this?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know, but I keep smiling and I've spoken a bit more. But you see this guy getting more into himself and sitting for himself and gaming,
Yeah.
and then in the end, he has some sisters to be like talking about. It's really weird to see an empty chair in a room
Yeah, I bet.
in front of a desk. That makes really depressive thoughts about where is this guy?
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be someone there or not?
Yeah. I think it is a remarkable story, and I think it tells a good um uh like lesson
Yeah,
in that no matter what our situation is, we can still do good in this world. The fact he was just stuck in this chair at his desk, but he was still bringing so much joy to so many people and left an actual mark on these people's lives.
yeah,
I think, do you find like you can do something similar? Because I feel like for as long as I've known
yeah.
you through Twitch, you've always been that kind of light for me, and I
After
know a lot of other
I
people.
saw the movie, I had some friends that be like, after they saw the movie, like, I think we should go outside and go on vacation, because I haven't been outside of Denmark before I have before. I went to India to visit the family with my mom and sister
Hmm.
before in time, but I was able to walk around and such
Right.
like that. I still needed a little help to go on the toilet, but I was able to walk around, so it was possible to go to India. But now I'm living alone and need to go somewhere before it's kind of too late.
Hmm.
Because I didn't see in the movie that Evelyn was going so much out
Yeah.
only before, but after he got worse and worse, it's like it's pretty hard. So I was thinking about going on vacation and
Hmm.
live as a king and then come home to Denmark so I have a memory that sticks.
I love that. You want to go to Thailand, right?
Yeah, I really want to go Thailand because
Are
it's
you
cheap.
you gonna book it?
Oh, yeah, not yet because I need to find out when and how because I have the helpers I need to coordinate
Hmm.
between. They have
Yeah.
to get the warning of I'm going here, so you have to do something about this here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just as easy as booking a holiday like it would be for me. There's a lot of logistics in it, isn't there?
Yeah,
And
logistic. I need to have my wheelchair with me. I need to coordinate like the hotels, how much it's gonna cost, and the money amount because I have to pay for 3 tickets. We need to remember
you and two
one of
workers.
me and my 2 workers. Yeah, they are not
Yeah.
paid by the government.
Hmm.
So I was trying to do a GoFundMe before in time, but
Oh, really?
couldn't do that because of the Danish rules. You can't ask fundraising if you don't have a company. Like you need to be 2 person.
Really?
Yeah, and you need to pay like 1,500 krones to even get the
What?
paperwork for it.
Oh, that's
So,
ridiculous.
so yeah. Well, yeah, Thailand is the goal or something in Asia, somewhere in Asia. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh man,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, it
That'd be
was.
really cool.
So,
I would love to
but
go to
yeah,
Thailand.
I think Thailand is pretty good to be in. It's cheap. You
Yeah.
don't have to be afraid to buy food because they're so cheap.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, that'd be awesome. What does do you have any goals when it comes to maybe trying to like raise awareness for Duchenne or anything like this? Is there any
I haven't.
causes?
I haven't think about to do awareness about my condition because someone never asked me to do this for us. Or I don't mind if company asks us, but you know what? We are a company that want to do good for healthcare. I
Hmm.
don't mind to be in there and talk a bit about my condition and be a face to it, but I think that's why streaming also was a thing I wanted to do.
Hmm.
To show people that with my condition you could still be a good streamer.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty hard when you're not allowing to do it, when there's so much hate and commenting about what you look like you ate too much or whatever. They could come with comments.
Yeah.
And that's hold us back. I have a lot of friends I asked before with my condition, do you want to be a streamer? They were like, no, and I think it's because of the insecurity. That's
Yeah.
pretty hard to come forward and sit there and speak in front of the camera.
Hmm.
Because I don't mind if people are laughing, but I don't need that in my comment section.
No, it's so hard. I know you can kind of curate Twitch chats and YouTube comments and things like that to
Yeah,
avoid certain remarks, but if people want to be nasty, they always find a way, unfortunately.
they always find
It's
a way to write it out, even with letters if they want to.
yeah. But it's a shame because you are a good streamer and you are a very entertaining person.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed your Twitch streams and always enjoyed your company. We've always spent many hours in VCs together, and
Yeah, I can't stop remember those days. They were the good days we had in
yeah,
the
when it's like
Discord almost
every
every
day.
day. And even
Yeah,
watch football together. That was insane.
yeah,
The
watching
championship.
the World Cups and
That
stuff.
was my first time actually watching a World Cup like this
Really,
with some friends and get so hyped about this goal and this person. Yeah.
still remember there was loads of us in there for the final, and obviously it
Yeah.
was Argentina, France, and Nick
Yeah.
being our Argentina. And I remember
Yeah.
watching it here and just hearing him scream and going mad, like,
Yeah. They are the
uh,
times like
yeah,
people in a lobby just sitting one thing and just doing one thing only. Or the
yeah.
camera grind.
Camo
That
grinds,
was
yeah.
brutal.
One of my favorite like memories, like periods of time, was when we had the Minecraft server.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
that
there'd be
was
like
actually good.
10 people at all times.
Yeah, yeah.
That was good times, man.
And then we have
Good.
Skippy just coming in random times.
Yeah, yeah. Bring them back, man. Bring them back.
And that's why we all remember Skippy, because he just comes in and leaves. Hi. All
Yeah.
right. See you next time. So shout out to Skippy, yeah.
Yeah, big up Skippy. You annoying twat, but
Okay.
he's an annoying twat, but we love him.
Yeah. He's always been there somehow.
He's a good kid and he's always been there. Yeah, he has. He somehow hears this. Skippy, I love you, man.
Yeah.
One final thing I want to ask you is, well, two things. One, what's something you think people should stop stressing about?
Yeah. Everything has an end and a start, but stop stressing about.
Yeah.
Stop stressing about your future, actually. Because whatever you do, there will be an end to it. In the sense of, I was really afraid of will I get some money next month or not? But in the end, I got the money as what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So if something doesn't necessarily go as you planned, don't let it go as planned, but let it come to you slowly. Like, don't think about it. Take one day at a time and slow down. There's nothing to worry about. And if no one gives a fuck, just let it be you and take it slowly. I think everything has a meaning to it.
I like it.
The other way or the other way around, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what people should
Stop
take with
stressing
them.
about the future.
Yeah, stop stressing about the future.
I like it. And then if you could leave a piece of advice or a quote for anyone listening.
Yeah,
I know you've got a few gems in there. I know you got some absolute dimes.
What do I get here? A
You
good
got some bangers.
advice. It's like,
Or a quote.
I heard this before, and it still keeps me thinking about this. It's like, don't plant your flowers in your neighbor's garden if they don't water them.
Ooh.
And it could be, for me, I don't know if it's true or not, but the way I'm thinking about this is like, don't be in friendship or circles that doesn't give you any energy.
That doesn't feed you.
Yeah, it's like the flower. If you don't water it and don't give it the necessary medicine, it can't survive.
Right.
So
Okay.
if you can't survive in this area you are in, that probably means they're not watering you correctly, not helping you correctly, not trusting you, not gonna support you of whatever you are doing. Which means, all right, we have to start over and find a new group we can be in.
Right.
Don't change yourself because of you don't fit in.
Yeah. Yeah. So like don't put your energy into something that's not gonna feed you.
Feed, water you, whatever, like a flower,
Yeah. Don't plant your flowers in your neighbor's garden if they're not gonna
if they
water
can't
it.
water them,
I like it. I've
think
not heard that before.
I think that's something I have read it somewhere, but I don't know
Yeah.
why I read it and when I read it. But
No, I like it. I think that's a perfect way to wrap things up, Barry.
I think it is, yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Like I said, you have always been a big inspiration for me since I known you. You've always been an absolute pleasure to talk to. Always been a motivator, someone to pick me up out of my dark times, and I'm super, super grateful and appreciative for you, for taking the time to speak to us, and just for being you, man. Being so goddamn positive.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Barry.
No problems.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.